Hi, I'm John Walsh, here at Place of Hope in Palm Beach County, the first charity in the country to partner with Crime Stoppers to help stop human trafficking.
And Place of Hope is adding to the Crime Stoppers reward to make a total of $5,000 for tips that lead to an arrest or recovery.
Don't forget, you can remain anonymous. If you suspect human trafficking, please call Crime Stoppers. You can make a difference with a simple phone call.
You're watching Trafficked. WPBF 25 News investigates.
This is modern day slavery. That's what this is.
You've been sheriff now for 19 years.
Yep.
How would you describe the sex trafficking issue in Palm Beach County and in South Florida?
Well, you have to realize Florida is the number 3 in the country. So obviously there's a volume of it happening. That's why in 2017 we formed the South Florida Human Trafficking Task Force. And we work with the FBI and Homeland Security. There's one in Miami, there's one in Broward, and we all network because most of it is a South Florida problem.
Who is most at risk?
Well, young people. They prey on illegals because they don't want to be found out because they're afraid they're going to get deported. Runaways because they're run away from home, so they're not going to get a hold of the police.
Yeah, we know from the Palm Beach County Human Traffic Task Force statistics, they say that 1 in 5 runaways reports being forced into sex trafficking.
Exactly.
So really, those are some of the most at risk.
Absolutely, because they got nowhere to go. So these people offer them things that they don't have. Place to live, some money, take care of them, food. They don't have that. So these people just bring them right on in, and once they get them in, under the guise of, I want to take care of you, that's when it turns and they're going to be exploited.
And how are they exploited? What are they being used for?
I'll give you an example. One of the cases that we made about 5 or 6 months ago in Lake Worth, there was 2 underage juveniles up in a hotel room, and the guy was bringing the guys up to the hotel room for the 2 young girls. Fortunately for us, the clerk, told the deputies, look, I'm not comfortable with what's going on. There's a lot of traffic in and up there. I know that there's 2 young girls. You need to look into it. And sure enough, that's what it was.
Typically, it doesn't happen that easy, though. It's a very complicated investigation when it comes to sex trafficking.
It is. And the reason it's so complicated, because the victims of this are not going to wave you down and report it.
The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office has created a few different training programs for people like hotel workers, medical professionals, people who are on the front lines who may be able to spot those victims who are being sex trafficked.
Yeah. We have 2 different programs, actually 3. We target the hospitality industry, hotels, motels. We target the healthcare professionals, people, believe it or not, that are involved in servicing houses like pest control, cleaning people, stuff like that, because they see what's going on. I mean, think about it. When the guy comes to do the pest control, he's like invisible. He's all over your house or wherever he's at. He sees what's going on. Now, an interesting stat is 90% of the victims involved in this at some point in time seek medical help. That's why it's important for us to train the medical people in emergency room and clinics to say, hey, if you got a young girl that comes in and she's obviously being controlled because the handler will be there to make sure she's not going to talk, that's a sign you need to talk to us. If you know something, say something, because that's the piece of the puzzle that we need to carry that investigation forward.
If you see something, say something, but what should people be looking for?
Well, it's pretty obvious. A young child that may be in a hotel room or a house, and there's a lot of traffic. We did a case in the Glades where they had gotten a trailer. There was 3 or 4 young girls there. They were servicing the workers from the field.
Why is it difficult to put a number to the victims? We don't really know how many people are being sex trafficked in South Florida.
You just don't. The ones we know about are the cases that we do. We did like 350 cases since 17. I think we've arrested 105 people, and I think we arrested 10 people last year. But you don't know the number of them because it's kind of like crime prevention. You can't measure something that you prevented. It's with the sex trafficking, there's victims out there that you don't know are there. You know that it's happening, but you can't quantify it unless you make the case and make the arrest.
These victims are mentally manipulated by their traffickers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. they're led to believe that they're being taken care of and that they can't go anywhere else. If they do, they're going to be arrested or they're going to be deported. So stay with us. We're going to take care of you. You just do what we say. What hurts is how vulnerable these young people are and how much they come to rely on them. I mean, I'm a parent, I'm a grandparent, you know, and I just can't imagine the distress and the actual, at some point, probably terror that these kids feel. They don't have any hope. They don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. They don't see a way out of it. And we can give them a way out of it. All we got to do is find them.
What happens when a survivor is rescued? The one South Florida woman navigating their next journey to freedom.
Boost by Kroger Plus is more than worth it.